episode of the Higher Level podcast. As always on the show, I'm joined by Higher Level head coach James Doolan, and tonight our special guest is Rhys Mckee. Cage Warriors, now welterweight. Thanks for coming on, Rhys.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. It's a pleasure. I got jealous of Rodney and Norman being on, so I'll be going to give up a little bit.
I've got to say, James, Rhys liked see the wee clip that Craig put in with the Irish guy.
Aye, I'm surprised they kept that in. I was like, fucking don't want to get the boys angry.
Yeah, that went viral. That went viral close to home for a long time. So that thing went away, and you brought it back. So,
but to be fair, if Norman or Rodney got upset, Craig Higgins is the producer. Me and James had nothing to do with it. So we'll get his address, his phone number, all that sort of stuff for you. So just let us know if you want to speak to him about it.
Oh no.
So that's how quickly we throw each other under the bus, by the way.
It has to be done.
So, obviously, same way we start every show. How is things? How's things, Rhys? How you been keeping your sanity, keeping yourself busy?
My good mate. Just doing what I can when I can. If I can, I'm lucky I've got my own facility there to use. So I've been training away, doing bits and pieces on my own and stuff. You know, lockdown, I think we're in 10 weeks in now, so it doesn't even feel like lockdown. It just kind of feels like normal life at this point. So keeping good, keeping sane, and just staying busy where I can. We're all in the same boat, so it's a bit shite though. But
well, that's actually it as well. Especially, is there a sense of frustration because you'd obviously signed with Cage Warriors, obviously. A couple of really good fights. I don't know if we spoke a wee bit off camera about the Perry Goodwin fight. Then you moved up a weight and it went very, very well, as good as it could have. And it really looked like that title shot was right there within your grasp. How was that frustrating that everything happened and obviously it's out with your control?
Yeah, like we had the title fight booked for Belfast. Like obviously would have been my home fight, so to speak. But yeah, it was frustrating. But like we didn't really get started in the fight camp, so to speak. I hate using that word, but so it wasn't too close to the point where I was like, just so frustrated. So I just kind of chipped away and done what I'd done, but. Listen, again, I know it's a boring answer, but we're on the same boat and the fights are going to come back the way they were anyway. So I know my next fight will be for the world title. So I'm happy enough. And again, just trying to do what I can and be as ready for that when it happens.
Yeah, and obviously you moved up the weight. What was that? Tell us what that was like, that fight going up to welterweight in terms of when you were leading up to the fight, you were preparing, how your body felt and just did it improve your training, not having to worry about cutting that weight?
Like, to be honest, it felt like my first training camp in like 4 or 5 years. Like, I was used to the last kind of few fights at lightweight, I've been doing 8.5 to 9 kilo kind of overnight in water. Like James will know, like it's not an easy process. Like it's just absolutely brutal. So
yeah, it's horrific.
The fight camp was like a real anxiety battle. Like I never signed the fight contract worried about the opponent. I was only worried about the weeks of the weight cut. Like, so it's a real anxiety battle. But the welterweight one, it was still had a bit of weight to cut and there's a bit more room for chocolate and whatnot. But the fight camp was like it was a breath of fresh air, and it was amazing.
And just explain to people who are going to be watching this the difference in walking into that cage at welterweight, because it's a big jump. It's 15, obviously 15 pounds. How different do you feel walking in that cage as a welterweight as opposed to how you were feeling as a lightweight?
Well, I could feel my legs. Normally at lightweight, I've got these heavy legs, and your mouth's dry, and you probably haven't hydrated all the best. The different of walking at welterweight, it was just enjoyable again. It was like, I was back in love with the sport. It was kind of like the way I fought as an amateur. It was good fun, and again, all focus was on the fight and what I had to do, not this whole shite like, what if I get hit a body shot? What if, you know what I mean? the rehydration is a big mental part of the game, and that's what a lot of people don't realise. It's not just physical, it's very much mental.
And I guess the other thing as well is usually the questions for guys when they're moving up in weight is how does the power carry up? How does that transfer? And I'm pretty much confident you answered that question pretty quickly. Could you feel that difference leading up to the fight, the difference in your power?
Like, I mean, to be honest, like not really, because it's kind of that last 3 or 4 weeks is when everything changes. I knew 3 or 4 weeks out from the welterweight fight, I was still able to get my hard pad rounds in where the power's coming through and stuff. But, I believe I hit harder with the more body weight and stuff, but I believe I still had equal power at lightweight, so I just feel better throwing them at that power at welterweight, if that makes sense.
I mean, if you're saying there, obviously you couldn't feel your legs, and it's going to have an impact and stuff, isn't it?
Of course. And,
And James, for you, do you like seeing this guys moving up a weight and having success? Because it shows other fighters that weight cutting is not always the answer.
I think I do like it. To be fair, I think some of the times you're getting almost like an inferior product for guys cutting weight, because it is affecting their performance and stuff. I remember when Rhys was moving up, the whole kind of narrative for Cage Warriors was how's he going to be at welterweight, and they didn't give him like an easy fight either. Hakan Foster's a good fighter. He fought one of the guys for Jim Graham Armstrong over in Sweden or Norway or something, and he's a very good fighter, man. And he blew right through him. It was like he looked so relaxed. You could tell like you'd probably been happy in there and stuff like that at the time. And I would like to see more fighters there. I still wish there was a division in between lightweight and welterweight. But it's the worst part of the sport, man. What Rhys was saying there, it's the word anxiety that they brought up talking about it as well. If you watch you fight, man, you're like super laid back. Like even in the mental fights you've had with like the Perry Goodwin and stuff, it's like it doesn't. It's chaos, but it doesn't faze you at all. And then when you're using that word anxiety, it's like you never get that for training or anything that can happen in the fight. But the weight cut is it's so horrific on you mentally, physically. It's a big reason why a lot of guys end up walking away from the sport and stuff as well. So it was cool that you've got that sussed out early on, man, because you could have probably went and mentally made lightweight for the rest of your career if you wanted, but it's fucking not an enjoyable thing, man, doing that for years.
Like, the worst part, like I always remember like obviously the fights are in England a lot of the time, and like see that they're sitting on the flight and it's only like a 55 minute flight. Anxiety, like you put your hand in your head in your hands and you're like, you just know you're going to a hotel room until do what you're going to do. Like, so no, 100%. And I needed, like, I knew say I got that UFC call earlier, you'd be making lightweight for the next 4 or 5 years before you have a say anyway.
Yeah. Terrific, man.
And there's got to be something said, and obviously when you're feeling better and you're happy and you're training, it's going to obviously benefit you, and ultimately a happy fighter's a better fighter, I would assume.
Yeah, even your personal life, like, we all have other stuff going on too, with families and friends and whatnot. Your personal life takes a major hit if you're cutting so much weight where you can't even like function the last few weeks before a fight. So yeah, I feel like my career is always talking about weight, but I mean it's definitely been a big part. I started off as a flyweight, so we're moving up.
That's insane when you think about that. But I mean, it just shows obviously as you're growing and your body's obviously changing and you're getting bigger. I think Rodney said that you were filling out as well. And did you notice in those last few cuts you had to do that? Did you notice you were getting harder each time, or?
I knew it was coming to an end. Like I think that last Perry Goodwin fight, I think we started the bath at like 8 p.m. and I was in the bath that evening to 2 a.m. like give or take, obviously in and out, and then up again at 6 o'clock in the morning to finish off. Like, and it was at that point I was just totally done. Like, totally didn't care about the fight until I weighed in, obviously. But
yeah, Yeah, but obviously since you went into Cage Warriors, it's been a successful run for you so far. Obviously heading towards that welterweight title. Got to say, I was a wee bit, I kind of gutted, obviously with Ross leaving and that, because I think I would have really liked to see that fight. I'm assuming that's a fight you would have liked to have gotten if Ross had stayed around in Cage Warriors.
Yeah, I would love to, and I think. From someone who's getting the title, you always want to take it off the champion. As much as fighting for a vacant title will be nice. You want to beat the champion, and Ross was, he was unbeaten. So he had two things that I like. I like an unbeaten record to fight, and I like someone with a title. So, but he's doing his thing, I'm doing my thing. So we'll get.
Yeah, and ultimately the path for you is the UFC. It seems like a path that's going to happen in your journey on. Do you feel that's now something that's not too far away for you, or do you try and think that far in the future? Yeah,
well, I know it's there. I know a lot of people were already writing the story for me, which I kind of I like to stay away from. UFC was due to come to Dublin in August. I was due to fight in May. They were writing the story for me, but the way I see it is I'm 24. If it's one more fight, 5 more fights, it's all added experience. I'd rather get all my chinks out now and just really concentrate on when I get there, that's where I am to stay. I don't want to be there for 2 fights.
Yeah, it's something we've spoke about. I think we actually spoke about in the last show, didn't we, James, with regards to obviously Jack Shore had opportunities to get in but didn't get in because it was maybe a bit too early for him.
Aye, Richard was saying they turned it down a couple of times, and just the same mentality we'd spoke about with the fighters we've got in the UFC. It's it's all very well and good getting there. It's staying there, especially if you want to make money. It's getting to the second and the third and the fourth contract and stuff. I think you can see with certain guys, but who's going, with Jack Shore early on at Cage Warriors, he was going to be there. And you can see it with you as well. We spoke about this with Rodney. There's no really any other Irish guy at this point in time who you can see the UFC signing right now. But it does put so much fucking pressure on you guys. I remember when I was fighting, I got you're one fight away for the UFC. I've got an email for Sean Shelby's type of thing. And it's for fuck's sake. And even Graham Turner had it at one point, and it's best just not even know about that shit.
It's hard though, isn't it? It's everybody's saying, after this one, that's you away, and you're like, fuck, it's me that has to get in and fight this guy here. So chill a minute.
The good thing is, man, you're saying you're 24, you've got so much time. Even with the title fight getting postponed, we were in the same boat with Luke Shanks. He was supposed to fight the week of lockdown against Fadine, and he's only 23, 24 as well. So hopefully by the end of the year, you get your title fight, you pick up that fucking Cage Warriors world title, and there's not really any. The track record the guys have got at getting guys to the UFC is frightening, to the champions.
Yeah, they have. Exactly. Cage Warriors.
It's have to be on.
Yeah, you've seen lots of guys going through. Even a guy you fought, Jai Herbert. He obviously went over to the UFC. Yeah. Was that a big thinking? And obviously, when you went to Cage Warriors, did you feel that was the best platform for you to push your career on?
Yeah. It's only ever been about the UFC for me. Since I was 16, in my little box bedroom watching Norman win the Ultimate Fighter. That's all I wanted. So to get to the UFC. So until I get there, that's my end goal. I'm not here to make a quick bit of cash or anything. I'm in the wrong game if I am, but UFC for me,
I guess it's a good thing to have in Norman there as well, because he's went through that experience in the UFC, so I'm assuming you can take a lot off Norman for that.
He's good fun. He'll always give you a bit of advice where you need it, and he's just a legend to have around the gym, and again, he's been there, he's done it. I actually seen an interview, it must have been in around this time of the year, I'm not sure, but he done an interview 7 years ago. That's when I would have been watching it. It's just crazy where the time goes. It's 7 years since he's won it.
I know, that is insane. That is mental. I remember watching that series myself. That was a really fun series because it was a wee bit different than what Norman was on. Obviously, it was the Tough Smashes, and there's a lot of good guys on there, obviously. Robert Whittaker was in that one, wasn't he? Brendan Loughnane, Colin Fletcher as well. Yeah. Can't remember, but it was a good show.
I don't ever think he got a fair crack at the whip. Like, you know, it was never as big as the American Ultimate Fighter. Like, and I know a lot of people agree with that. So I think Norman, not that he pulled the short straw, but he didn't get the full straw, so to speak.
No, I know what you mean. Because he changed the format, they were almost catering for an audience outside of America.
Yeah, it was weird, but I mean, he still won it, and it still got him in.
Well, that's it. At the end of the day, you get in there, and obviously the best thing for you now is you can learn from his experience for the UFC, the good and the bad.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
And with regards to just yourself and your training down at your place, is it just solely down there you've been getting some training in during lockdown?
Well, in my own like private place, like it's a commercial gym, so like I mean, there's not much MMA going on there, so to speak. So just hitting a punch bag and doing your like kind of standard stuff that you do in a commercial gym. It's, you know, not MMA, unfortunately.
And with regards to out in Ireland at the moment, what's the situation with sort of, not obviously your bigger shows, but do you know much about what's happening with regional shows out there? Is there stuff planned or booked? And
we haven't heard anything. Like I know, no, we haven't heard. I know there's this show there even for August. Mm-hmm. That's the only like local show I've heard of doing anything. Yeah, like it's kind of weird. Like we kind of heard very little, so I think we're all just waiting, and you know the fighters just are waiting to get into the gym, and then from there I'd say it'll go a bit crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, we're kind of the same out here. There's a few shows booked, but obviously, James, you've got obviously plans. You've got a full size cage using the gym and just doing stuff to try and keep the amateurs.
I actually read that this morning or last night? That's crazy. What's happening there, or what's your plan?
Well, basically, what happened was, I don't think there'll be any shows here this year in Scotland. England are starting to announce a couple now. So one of my students, one of our amateur fighters, Kieran Reid, just came and said his brother works for, is it ICW, the wrestling promotion?
Yeah.
And I think he does some of the writing for it, but he's also involved with maybe streaming it and stuff. So I think the guys are looking at doing something like that. And Kieran just came up with the idea of, look, the gym's sitting there, there's a full-size cage that was been used in fight shows before. Why don't I just match the amateur guys? At the time, I was just like, yeah, I've got enough work in my hands where everyone else goes on. Put the feelers out, see what kind of information you get back. And I think he's contacted most of the main gyms here. Everybody's been like, right, we're in. Like, it means that the amateurs aren't going to lose this year. It means that guys like Mark Jones, 21-year-old, he's not lost a year his career competing. So we're getting a lot of good feedback for it. He's got a doctor lined up. So one of the guys who used to train me is a doctor. He's going to take care of all the medical stuff. He says he'll do it for free. He'll be at the show. We've got judges, referees, all guys that have worked at the local shows. So it'll just be a case of we'll match them, bring guys in, they'll get a time slot to come in, it'll be the fighter and the one coach. The judges now will be sitting, they can do the fight, there'll be no crowd, obviously we'll stream it, and then they can get their wins or their losses added on their record. So it's just a way to keep the momentum going for the amateurs in Scotland, because we're so far behind some of these other countries in terms of the scene. We get maybe like 2 or 3 shows a year here now. It's not great. And we've actually like some of the pro guys are messaging like, I'll fight for free, I just want to fight. And yeah, so Kieran's taking a day with that. I'll help any way I can with it when it gets closer to the time, once we find out when we can get dates and stuff. And everyone so far has been super positive. With one guy mentioned maybe like a home advantage for the higher level guys, but you're coming into an empty unit, but you're in a cage where you're 2 fighters, 2 coaches and a referee, so there's not like a crowd there, so it should pan out pretty good, man. I think if we get enough interest, some of the amateur guys could still maybe get 2 or 3 fights in this year.
Amazing, yeah. People will jump at it. Like there's fighters there who are dying to fight, as they said, pros will fight for free. I'd fight for free on it. So, people just want action.
The time off's a bad thing for, especially the guys who who are like career minded with it, like they want to get the amateur career that way and turn pro and get to the bigger shows and maybe get to the UFC or Bellator. Like, the time off's an absolute fucking killer. But the guys who do it, like, they've got full-time jobs and they maybe take a fight every now and again because they feel like it. It's obviously a bit different, but there's good guys in Scotland at all of the gyms, and these young kids are they're similar to you, man. Want to make money, get to the UFC and stuff, and that year out could just be a fucker. And then if we're not doing it in other countries and whatever, they're getting ahead of us.
Yeah,
it's by the time, yeah. If you're not ahead, you're behind.
Yeah.
No, you got what sort of things, what restrictions are stopping it from happening now? What do we need the government to do before you can say, right, we can go ahead with this?
Open the gyms. The gym's still shut. We go into phase 2 tomorrow, it's Thursday, and then it's 3 weeks to phase 3, and then the gyms can open then with social distancing measures and stuff. So we've got to put stuff in. Like, the classes will be smaller, they'll be in sectioned areas and all that kind of stuff. But we'll need to wait for them to allow us to return to contact sport, I'd imagine. So once they allow us to grapple in some form, then we can start matching the fights. But all we're bypassing there is the crowd. Like, you're not in a venue where there's 500-600 people, because that's definitely going to be the last thing that comes back, I think.
Yeah. But I mean, effectively, well, I suppose we're seeing sport happening down in England. Obviously, I know it's different because it's not grappling, but football and that, it's a contact sport. The contact's not the same as grappling, but the contact is there nonetheless.
I think that's because they're classed as elite level. Like, that's the same, like, pretty much the same way I've got Stevie and Danny back training.
Right.
It's because they're classified as elite athletes. So until they allow amateur level athletes back, I think that may be the kind of problem. But we've no idea when this will start. But it's the kind of wheels are in motion type of thing. So once we get the go ahead, it'll be a matter of weeks.
It's good as well for some of the guys that have probably messaged you saying they want to fight. Gives them sort of a sense of purpose, something to actually train for.
100%. Like, I was up until Danny's fight get matched there for Fight Island. I've just been like in the house, and you don't know what day it is. I didn't even want to think about martial arts. You know what I mean? I'm like, why? I don't want to watch fights. I'm not even a fan of it anymore. I'm just going to watch shitty TV. And then as soon as Danny messaged me saying I've been offered this fight, it was like, right, now I can kind of. It's almost like a little sense of normality. I can study tape on the guy. I can start arranging a fight camp. I can talk about getting his weight down and all that shit. So it's just like it's just what you know, isn't it? It's like you're so used to it. It's just getting back to it a wee bit.
Aye, that's it. And at least we've had in the background, we've had the UFC putting on fights, and it's just good that Fight Island's actually real. That's it. That's the main thing for the UK, the European guys. And all that. In terms of what's been happening, have any seen this hashtag Joe Silver stories?
Oh, yeah. Some of them are mad.
That dude was he was not a good cool dude. What the fuck, man? See, did you read the one that he done with John? Oh shit! Come on, how am I losing his name? Lost to GSP, had an insanely good record in the UFC. John Fitch. Aye, so he
one that break an arm or something. He messaged someone to break their arm, or
no?
How many there is?
The John Fitch one was basically he got signed to a new contract and got a pay bump, and obviously Joe Silver wasn't happy about that. So he basically said to John Fitch, "I'm going to match you horrendously. Once you lose your fight, I'm going to cut you and re-sign you for half the amount."
That's so bad, man.
I know, man. I'd kind of heard the stories about him, but
that's real life, man.
Aye.
I've met him twice, I think. I'm not going to say anything bad because I don't know what
No, don't. You've got guys fighting, and Rhys, you're trying to get into the UFC, so if anything's bad to say it, I'll say it.
Let's not talk about Joe.
We'll talk about it in a while.
Aye. Yeah, talk about it in a few years.
No, isn't he? Isn't he gone though?
He's rolled off into the sunset. He owned part of the company, so obviously when it sold, he he basically he won in the end. He threw the cash up in the air and went, "Fuck yous, I'm out."
I told you.
I know, man. It's crazy stuff. But we've had a few things as well. Have you noticed all the fighters with money, and then obviously Amanda Nunes saying she's maybe got to retire as well?
Joe Rogan is speaking on it too. Like, Joe Rogan seems to be the man that knows everything. So they were talking about, like, Joe is his theory about how, because there's no gate coming in, then the fighters shouldn't be getting or they aren't getting as much. So I don't know. That's a big business, and there's a lot of money on the line. But fighters need paid, and a lot of them are trying to get their worth now. But it's maybe not the best time. Like, but I think the point, I suppose.
It's just. I mean, it's one of the ones. It isn't the fighters are effectively self-employed, so it's their job to turn up and fight. From my point of view, the promoter's job is to sell the tickets, not the fighters. So it shouldn't really fall on that. That shouldn't fall on the fighter's responsibility. But I don't know. Is there a party that maybe just feels like using the gate could be a wee bit of an excuse as well?
It doesn't make sense. It's not like the fighters are running. It's not like a local show where the fighters are getting a ticket deal or anything. I don't know why he said that. Like, the UFC's got that ESPN deal at $750 million for so many shows and stuff. But the fighters know what contracts they're signing. That's the thing. Like, they can take it or leave it. Unfortunately, none of them get paid what they're worth. Like, it's just the reality of the sport, unfortunately. But they know what they're signing when they sign it, and they can all say no and try and go somewhere else. But it is like they've all decided just to band together right now when they were kind of shook a wee bit with cancelling shows, and they have got no gate. It's like we'll fucking get after them now. And plus, there's no other sport on the now, so everybody kind of is following MMA a wee bit more. But it is weird the timing of it, man. But the gate thing doesn't make any sense. But
I've seen Masvidal's getting, like, apparently his last fight, whatever he got, they offered him half of it for this fight. Like, I mean, he's been on a tear. Like, so I understand how he's, like, fucked off. Like, I understand that point, but
Right. And I think you've got to think about it as well as Masvidal's profile has never been bigger. So why would you get the business might not be bad, but why would you want to take a pay cut? I mean, I think that's in any line of work. If you're performing the best you've ever performed in your job, and then they turn around and say, "Listen, we're going to cut your salary by 50%," you're going to be like, no, it doesn't make sense. But all the guys that are complaining about it have either left or they've got really, really high profiles. So you're not really seeing any guys that are sort of in the middle of the pack at the moment. There's no guys like that complaining. Which
you don't see any of that. Ali's fighters complaining about pay. So some of these guys maybe need better managers. Like, he manages Stevie, and I know what he's done in terms of Stevie signed with another management company. He pretty much got tricked off a guy. I won't mention the guy's name, but the guy had came at him with all the bullshit, pretty much saying he'd be his clients and stuff, and signed with him. And then once we started kind of looking into it a wee bit, this guy wasn't what he said he was, and this Ali had got kind of wind of this, and actually sorted all the contracts for Stevie. Like, got him out of this because the guy was threatening legal action. Ali took care of it, got Stevie a bump in pay for his third contract, and then again for his fourth one. So it might be a case of who these guys are working with. I know he's got a wee bit of clout with the UFC. He had like 5 champions there at one point before Cejudo walked away, but it might just be these guys need better advice and guidance.
How bad is the management side of MMA, James? You're going to know better anyway. You've dealt with this side and seen this side a lot over the years. How poor is the management side of MMA?
It's terrible. You don't need a manager. See, once you get to the UFC, you don't need them because the sponsorship stuff and that there. Well, it used to be a factor. It's not anymore. So if you can get somebody decent helping you through the shows that's going to get you to the UFC and stuff like that, then you maybe want to stay with them as a matter of kind of loyalty and stuff like that. But Joanne never had managers when we got her to the UFC, and then as soon as she got there, we were getting messages for every management company you can think of, offering their sign-on bonuses and stuff like that. And then the same way, Stevie at one point was managed by Tam Collins, who promoted on top. And then after a while, Tam walked away and just never taking any percentage of purses and stuff. And he actually paid for training for Stevie and stuff like that, done a lot for him. But then again, he signed with some random manager that's contacted him just fucking through his DMs. He's had multiple guys try to get in touch with him, and then Danny just get in with footer manager, so he doesn't have one. I just deal with all his stuff myself. But they're just crooks, man. They're just trying to take a percentage of the fighter's money, and these guys aren't getting paid enough to be giving some guy 20% of their purse for firing off emails.
But it's one of these situations where the management side is so poor, that could be a contributing factor in as to why fighters' pay is so crap. Because the proper negotiations haven't took place over the years for fighters to get guys pay up.
I think you need them once you're in and established and stuff, but like you're not negotiating that getting in contract. Like you can see guys like I think the UFC were in touch with Khalidov when he was like the KSW champion and stuff, and the contracts they were trying to give that guy, and he was like the biggest fighter in the sport outside the UFC at the time. But you're going to get their standard fucking contract off them, I think, to start with, unless you're like maybe a Bellator champion or something like that. And there's not a lot of room for haggling with these guys.
It's take it or leave it. For that side of things, Rhys, have you got anybody that helps you out with that, or do you deal with that yourself, or how do you handle that side?
You know what? It's something like Rodney's. Like I can sense Rodney's very like James in that respect. Like, you know, managers are the crooks, so to speak. So we've been very careful. Like again, people slide into like managers slide into your DMs every week. You know, random guys. But we are sorted with a manager now. So it took me a long time to kind of trust anyone, and so I'm finalising something now. But we're getting that sorted. So I'll tell you in a few years if it fucked up or not.
You can come back and say, that bastard, I can't believe I fell for it. Or
this is it. Like, you know, it is the whole, you know, Rodney for years, and I've been the same. As like, you don't need one, and then, you know, a lot of people say you need them just to get over the line. So
there is I think you definitely are at the stage, dude, where the right guy can just help you get in. See if you get one that's got guys in already and stuff, they definitely have a wee bit of sway. Like even with Stevie and stuff like that, he kind of got in on the back of we already had Joanne in. So as soon as Joanne went in, obviously through Invicta, but then as soon as she was in, and anytime Stevie fought, I would just email Sean Shelby saying, like, if you need a lightweight or even a welterweight at short notice, he's just won last night. He's just beat Kurt Warburton, who you've cut for the UFC. He's good to go. And I think some of the managers who've got guys in just have better connections, man. Like they can email him and he'll read their email because he knows he has to. Whereas he must have a million fucking emails that he doesn't want to read.
This is it, 100%. And that was kind of, you know, I just want to make, if this is to be the last kind of transition of moving on, like, you know, I want it to go as smooth as possible, and just, I want to focus on the fights and winning, and, you know, everything else is took care of. So that's my thoughts.
That's it. The less I mean, I guess it kind of the same as obviously the anxiety, that weight cut and all that as well. The less shit you need to worry about outside of what you actually need to do in a cage, ultimately it's probably going to lead to a better performance for you.
100%. Here, I hope people aren't messaging me about anxiety after this, because Rhys is that guy with anxiety now. So
you're probably one of the most laid back fighters I've ever seen. Like some of his fights, you're gonna fight yet. I know. Like even when you're in the mad wars and stuff, you're just like, it's just a fight. It's cool. I kind of like it, man. It's like
a zen, isn't it? You know.
Yeah, you're comfortable. You're just right in the moment.
So the one, that was a wild one. That was like, it was hard to be zen then, but we got there. That was some fight. I really enjoyed that fight, and obviously it's that bloody Cage Warriors mat though. Every time it gets blood on it, it's like a slip and slide. And like I remember, like I know Rodney said it last week, but like the choke I had, like we kind of slipped on them, and then like I remember the ref, he was like shouting at me like, let it go, and I was like my hands were literally clasped, but I couldn't let go, and then I kept slipping. But they need a canvas in there.
Aye, 100%. Although thankfully it wasn't quite as bad as the Houston and Dalby massacre. That was nuts as well. And by the way,
I didn't know that was a possibility of stopping a fight due to too much blood. Like fair play to Mark Goddard. Like he does stuff that the ref dare to do. Like,
but it was at the point in that fight where it was like you're watching two drunk guys trying to stand up in ice. That's what it looked like. And something we were speaking about management earlier. I think what happened after that fight with Houston and Dalby showed the powers of having the right person helping your career, because Dalby went to the UFC, obviously Ross didn't, and obviously Dalby had Graham Boylan manage him, so I guess that kind of shows back if you've got the right person as well.
I also think, controversial as it maybe is, but I think they scored it as Dalby was winning the fight. Like, I know I've said this to a few people and they don't agree, but I think Dalby was like on his way to winning, and I think the people that need that opinion had that opinion, and I think that's maybe why Dalby gets signed as well. Plus, he was at UFC before,
and the show was in Denmark, I think, as well. Yeah, it was a home show.
Yeah, and
it was made for him.
I can see that point of view because of the way because of the way the fight was going. The fight had Ross was dominant at the start, and the fight had switched, and Dalby had started taking over the fight. And you're right in what you're saying. The way the fight was going, it did look like it was Dalby who was on top. Obviously, you don't know what's going to happen, but I think I would agree with you in the sense that Dalby was in the ascendancy at that point. But yeah.
I'd love to fight. I'd love to fight him. I think that'd be good.
Yeah, and that's a potential fight once you're in the UFC, depending on what Dalby's situation is. But when you're looking in there, there's a lot of good fights, a lot of good welterweights in the UFC. And it's safe to say is 155 is that now rear view mirror?
I'm kind of like in the middle of like a weird weight class. Like at that 165, it'd probably be where I'm at the minute. But I don't know. Nah, 155. No, I don't think so. Like, no, it's not fun.
Aye, and it's a division in the UFC as well. 155. That you kind of want to be. You want to be feeling your best walking into the cage as well, especially some of the talent in that division.
No, 100%. It's stacks. I need to turn the light on. It's getting late. I like 55. Like, no, I found my home. I think I found my home at 170 here. So we'll see how it goes. Never say never, but
aye.
But they probably still got a bit of growing to do as well, man. Like filling out and stuff. What Rodney was saying.
Yeah, I think like I'm an Adesanya kind of build. I think that's where I kind of will go. Like that middleweight kind of. Long and skinny builds. I'm already there, but he's bigger, obviously.
Aye, it's just time, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anyone at Cage Warriors you've got your eye on now? Like, you'll have your eye on all the guys in your division and stuff, but is there anyone, have they told you who you're going to fight for the title or anything?
I know Alex Enlund put up some story saying that me and Proctor had agreed to fight. I've never heard Proctor's name mentioned to me, like, so I mean, I know he's the number one contender.
Yep.
I would also I'd like a UFC vet, so I want to kind of beat the best guy that people say is next, because then when you get the call, people can't be like no, he shouldn't have won, or I want to beat all the guys that it was there to beat, if that makes sense. And fuck it, whoever it is, I don't really mind.
It's a good division at Cage Warriors as well now, man. It went through a wee bit of a spell there where it wasn't that strong, and then it's like Dalby came back, obviously Alex Lahore and stuff, so it's good now, man. It's strong.
Yeah, and there was a couple of guys. They got Jorge Santos was about for a while. He fought Craig White. Some good guys there, like some legit black belts and stuff in there. So anybody that's up at the top of the division, like, there's 4 or 5 there that you wouldn't be too disappointed if they were fighting for the title as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes
we all want a veteran though, don't we? Like, I think anybody not in the UFC wants a vet.
Yeah.
As part of that wanting the veteran, is that almost like a test to yourself, because you're on the way up and they're coming back. sometimes you get to test your skills against somebody who's been at that highest level in fighting. Is there part of that involved in it?
I guess it is. Like, I remember even when I was young, like in the gym and stuff, like as an amateur, if like a pro came in, I had the same mentality of like, oh, this guy's a pro, so like let's see where I'm at now. Not in like a little dickhead way, but you know, in a normal person way. So I guess the UFC guy again, it's let's see where I'm at now, and you know, so who knows? Like, I don't know. I suppose with a travel thing, they're probably going to have to get a more local fighter than an Americans. So.
It's just one. We don't know how it's going to play out, but something Rhys said there, James. Is that sort of a trait you like in your fighters? Guys who constantly want to test themselves and see where they're at and maybe where they need to improve.
I think the UFC vetting's perfect, because we spoke about that with Richard Shaw on Monday. Mind, he said that once Jack had beat Von Lee, who'd obviously been in the UFC. And we had the same way with Stevie once he beat Kurt Warburton. He fought him 3 times, but when he stopped him the 3rd time, we were like, right, he's beat guys who are in the UFC. You know you're ready for the UFC. Like when you're fighting for the Cage Warriors title, you're ready. When you're like the Bama World Champion, you're ready. But it is good just to get that UFC veteran on your record. I still go on about mine, and I fought them before they went to the UFC, but I fought Von Lee, and then I fought Neil Seery. The Swedish guy whose name I can't remember. A Swedish guy, but I fought some guys who went on and won fights in the UFC, so it's pretty cool. But I think every young, hungry fighter wants to test that guy, because the fact they've been there and had fights and stuff, it means that they're at that level. So it's just that kind of wee test.
Yeah, like, and I think it always seems like a turning point. Like, I mean, I think people kind of step up and take notice. I always thought I would get the fight with Freak Show. I always thought that would have played out. Like, he's, you know, when we were at Bama, like, he's actually the only guy to have more Bama fights than me, which I thought was a mad stat. So I thought we would have maybe fought at a time, but I think he's done now, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. I know there's been a couple of issues we got on in terms of maybe weight and stuff like that as well.
He did a bare knuckle boxing fight was the last thing I assumed in.
Jesus Christ.
I remember watching that.
Man, what was that time like for you when everything was changing at Bama? What was that experience like for you, going through all that?
It was a bit weird because I won the title. It must have been in March, and then they kind of put me back in to defend it in May, maybe June. So it was like 3 months, and I remember like hearing that they were kind of going bust or whatever happened, and kind of my back was kind of against the wall. They kind of said like, you have to defend here in a roundabout way, and I don't know why, but I said, oh, okay, I'll defend them. And then once they closed or done whatever they done, I messaged them one day and I said, listen, what's happening? I need to fight. And they said, what's your email? I gave them my email and they sent me my release. And I was like, oh, okay, thanks. That was it, like, more or less. And, you know, it was kind of what I was after anyway. Obvious it was over. I sound like I'm breaking up with a girlfriend. But
no, I kind of got that feeling. I went down to, what was a show I was working at? I was doing the Bama Bellator show. It was the sort of mixed show, and you kind of got the feeling then that it felt like Bellator was almost sort of just swallowing Bama up.
It became like we were like the warm up clowns before the lions come out in a circus. Do you know what I mean? I can't remember who I fought, but I fought someone like it was one of my last fights. I can't mind who it was, but it was like on in an empty arena, and it was like, fuck, I don't think this, like, I'm not saying we're the sliced bread, but like, I don't think it should be an empty arena, you know. So
yeah, the thing is, actually, I went to the Bama Bellator show. The Bama fights were really good. The Bellator fights,
do you know?
I'd need to go back. It must have been about 2 years ago, something like that. It must have been about 2 years ago. But the Bellator fights were horrendous. they were not good. But obviously
that was a weird time with them sharing and then they changed like some of the cage, and it was a weird time to be. I mean, it was a cool time, I suppose, but it was weird.
Aye, but it's kind of how things have went in Bellator. It's just the word I always kind of use with how they do things, especially their TV deals and that, is the best word is weird, because it is weird that you need to channel surf 50 times to watch the fights. But yeah, it's strange, but I think what we'll do is we'll wrap up there, lads. Obviously, it's getting dark, getting late. If you've noticed me muting and shouting, I'm shouting at Alexa to put my lights on. By the way, that's what that was. I'm waiting for the day somebody walks by and shouts, play some weird music in my door or something like that.
The Lex is amazing, isn't it? Like,
I sit and I quite like it. It's I've just got it hooked up to all my lights and all that. And
mad though how much they can hear you though when you think about it. Like, I don't want to get too Rodney and Norman there. But like, I mean, I messed up.
I kind of got the conspiracy theory, but I thought I was waiting for Norman to pull out a tinfoil hat and go for it, but he didn't.
Oh, I remember cutting weight with Norman actually, and I think I keep referencing your last interview, but I remember like waking up at like 2:30 in the morning, and he was lying in the corner of the hotel room watching a conspiracy, and it's like, that's Norman. Like, that's Norman.
It's better than Stevie Ray sitting up playing fucking Pokemon to 4:30 in the morning. What's fucking hell?
Oh, so what's it like? Obviously, if you're in fight week, what's Norman like in fight week when you're cutting weight? If he's there with you, how's that having him around? Is that helpful and motivational?
What did you say? Did you say if he's there?
Aye, if he's there.
I have no idea what you're talking about. He's always there. No, again, Norman, when he's there, he's a cool cat. Like, he always helps you, and like he'll spend an hour after class like helping you with something or talking about a conspiracy, whatever you want.
Takes your mind. And was Rodney the same with you? Obviously, he spoke about when Norman was cutting weight and stuff like that. He doesn't like eating around them or stuff. Is he the same with you?
It's true, like, but you know what? I think what annoys me more is like you'll hear him sneaking out into the hallway and like downing a litre of water, and it's like, I would rather you just do it in here, and like I didn't hear it. But Norman, I remember in the airport and Starbucks, like eating cookies and stuff. But that doesn't. I'd rather people eat, to be honest, than hide it.
Aye. Kind of a weird thing. It's just hiding it for you. You know what's happening, but you just can't see it. You can smell it. Smell the cookies in the air.
Breaks your heart a bit.
Well, thankfully, it's not going to be as torturous for you going forward. Obviously, hitting that 170. What's that?
Maybe after lockdown, it'll be just as tough.
how I've got to ask as well. How during lockdown, how's the diet been?
Really, I mean, I was 191, which isn't. I don't think it's too bad, but I think I'm 189 or something this week. So we're getting there, but I mean, this is kind of where I'm hovering now anyway, so it's all good. Yeah,
that's not too bad. You don't need to do what Stevie's doing there and do. Is it 4-day fast, Stevie, 70-day, James?
He keeps doing these fucking 100-hour fastings.
Why?
I don't know why. I think it's like a mental challenge thing to yourself. He's not right in the head, man.
It sounds like a Netflix documentary gone too far.
It pretty much is that. But he likes to make a wee video every time. We heard him on the podcast, and he's like, you need to finish at 10 o'clock because I'm allowed to eat at 10:05. I've been on a fast for fucking 100 hours. Fucking.
Aye, it was interesting having Stevie on while he was fasting and no food in him.
He couldn't answer any questions. He didn't know any fighters. He was just talking absolute random gibberish.
If anything, if you want to see something, if you ever want to see something for comedic value, watch one of the shows when just for Stevie's facial expressions when I say the fighter's name. I was saying, James, I know, and again, I know Norman said it last week. Must get over. I know I texted you before about getting over, but must get over and get some training in once this is all over. Yeah, it's like what you were saying about London. It's like 45-50 minutes, man. There's accommodation and shit here, but any time, man. Yeah, and I remember we had Kieran Mark over and stuff at times, so.
Yeah.
At least I'll have two people that like me there. Maybe well, maybe they don't like me.
You'll be cool, man. You'll fit in really well. Like everybody in our gym's pretty just normal. Like usually when you get weirdos like that, and we kind of get rid of.
Who would you say? I've got. I think I know who you're got the name you're going to say. Who do you think's the most abnormal guy we'll say in the gym for you, James?
Luke Shanks.
I knew that's who it was going. I knew you were going to say. I knew you were going to say Luke. I just knew it.
Me and him, we shared a fight card before. Me and him, we shared a. I think when I fought Terry Brazier, he fought as well. Good kid.
He's a good kid, man.
Just don't look in his DMs or anything like that. That would be an experience off itself. So yeah, listen, Rhys, thanks very, very much for coming on, mate. We appreciate the time, and as always, guys, for everybody tuning in to the show, we appreciate your time and you coming on and watching the show. But hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel, and of course follow the Higher Level Facebook page, and obviously the Instagram page as well. So we appreciate it. Thank you.